Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Breaking tonight, an airport standoff ends with a gunman in custody, but not before shutting down a Florida airport for hours.
A father and his 3-year-old son playing poolside when something goes horribly wrong.
Are they out of the water?
We're trying to get them out now.
Tonight, police are looking for clues, trying to figure out how both appear to have drowned in just 5 feet of water. Police say the autopsies of those two are key at this point.
What they do know now, the 31-year-old man and his 3-year-old son had no intention of going swimming. How they both ended up dead in a pool where the deepest part is 5 feet is a mystery.
Our Mara McDonald is live in Novi tonight. Mara, what do you know?
Jace, let me try and set it up for everybody. Take a walk with me. You see the pool area right here. It's closed off right now. This is a very small pool area. It has a very small L-shaped pool. You had a couple that was walking along here. They see bodies floating in the pool. They run into the clubhouse, which is right adjacent to this pool. And I think it's important to point out that when this father and son went into the water, there was no commotion. Nobody heard anything.
We got 2 kids that are drowned in the pool.
You can hear the desperation on the phone, and originally the call came in as 2 children floating in the pool, but it wasn't. It was a father and son. Police say the mistake was an easy one to make because the 31-year-old father in this case is not particularly tall.
Are they awake right now?
No, they're unconscious.
Are they out of the water?
We're trying to get them out now.
What police know right now is that that father and his 3-year-old son were playing poolside this afternoon. Police found a small tricycle and other toys, but what led to both of them in the water is unclear.
Just before the 911 call, a couple and their infant child were walking into the clubhouse. They happened to glance over and see what they thought was at least one person floating in the pool. They ran into the office, grabbed the employees there. They all ran outside and started to pull 2 individuals out of the pool.
How long they had been in the water, nobody knows. Police tell us the family is from India, and it is unknown whether the father had any idea how to swim. The couple had no other children.
As you can imagine, we have a very distraught wife and mother right now, and she's just trying to deal with this tremendous grief right now before we get into too many questions with her.
Here live, Novi police expecting that those autopsies will be completed tomorrow, and right now those autopsies are key to understanding what happened here, especially how an adult man could drown in 5 feet of water. Jason, Karen, back to you.
So very, very sad, Mara. Do police believe this is anything but a terrible accident?
No, they don't expect any foul play right now, Karen, but they have a lot of unanswered questions too. I mean, I think they're trying to give this man's wife some space. She's had a horrible shock today. I also think there is potentially a language barrier problem here, and there are a variety of things that need to be addressed. I think it's just going to take a matter of time.
All right,
back to you.
Horrible tragedy there. Thank you, Mara.
Breaking news out of Florida tonight, where a standoff with a gunman has just ended. The armed man was taken into custody at Orlando International Airport after having a part of that airport on lockdown. Jermont Terry is live in the newsroom with the new developments. Jermont?
Jason, a significant portion of the airport was shut down for 2 hours. Now, this was the scene in Orlando this afternoon. People could not get to the airport as investigators there had tried to convince this armed man to surrender and put down his weapon. This was the scene earlier tonight, police ordering people inside the airport to leave the facility. Now, the man was spotted with a gun near the car rental center. Now, witnesses say that man even pointed the weapon in the direction of officers when they arrived. Now, that prompted this tense standoff inside the airport. Now, at no point did the man fire any shots, but he did refuse to drop the weapon that he had in his hand. But as you know, many people travel to the Orlando area and they use this Orlando airport, and it's very busy. Many travelers, of course, utilize the car rental center, and at some point police did have to stop all traffic coming into the airport, locking down portions of this airport briefly. But I should mention in the last 45 minutes that man did finally surrender as police offered an explanation to his motive.
The subject that is in custody right now is Michael Wayne Pettigrew. He's a black male, born 29 of 1990. He is former military, and so at this point, he's been committed under the Baker Act for a mental evaluation. There are pending charges on him of aggravated assault with a firearm.
Police in Orlando just released this image of the weapon that the individual had on him, and we have just confirmed that this was a simulated weapon. So this individual caused this 2-hour standoff in Orlando at the international airport for 2 hours with what essentially was a fake gun. But of course, investigators down there was unclear why this man had this weapon, how he got that weapon into the car facility, the car rental facility. But the good news tonight, we can report no injuries. The individual was taken into custody, and now investigators try to figure out why he did all this. For now, reporting live in the newsroom with this developing story, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
All right, amazing. No shots were fired in that. All right, Jermont, thanks.
Well, tonight the FBI is investigating 4 bomb threats that were faxed in to businesses and schools in Metro Detroit today. The feds say the threats are part of a nationwide wave. They targeted the University of Detroit Mercy, 2 Head Start programs on Detroit's east side, and a hair salon in Woodhaven. The FBI released this statement saying, "We are aware of recent bomb threats and we remain in touch with our local law enforcement partners to provide assistance if needed. As always, we encourage the public to remain vigilant and to promptly report suspicious activities which could represent a threat to public safety."
Students at Lincoln High School coping with the death of a classmate. Sudden death of 15-year-old Christina Snyder. She was a passenger in the back seat of an SUV that slammed into the back of a fire truck along I-94 in Ypsilanti. The driver of the SUV, Charles Horn, and his teenage daughter are in critical condition. Horn hit a fire truck that had stopped to block a previous crash. He has a lengthy driving record that includes having his license suspended, leaving the scene of an accident, and having no proof of insurance. The jury will have its first full day of deliberations tomorrow in the case of the man who caused Trooper Chad Wolf's death.
70-year-old Charles Warren dragged Trooper Wolf nearly 4 miles along I-75 back in 2015. He's charged with reckless driving, causing death, and leaving the scene of a deadly accident. But the defense says this was just a tragic accident and that Warren was only charged because the incident involved law enforcement. More than 50 car windows smashed at a dealership in Highland Township over Memorial Day weekend. Thieves made their way onto the lot at Zott M59 Dodge, broke the windows on cars, and stole the radio navigation systems. It's believed the same thieves recently hit 2 other dealerships. There is a $6,500 reward for information leading to arrests.
Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley calling for a change in the Michigan legislature. He's spearheading a petition drive to limit the legislature to part-time and cut the pay in half as well. It would require an amendment to the state constitution and a vote of the people in 2018. There's been talk of this for years, but Calley says it's time.
Been passionate supporters but lacked that statewide presence and grassroots organization to make it happen. It's going to happen this time.
Calley's so-called cleanup crew marched through the streets of downtown Mackinac on the island calling for the change. Calley is there for the Mackinac Policy Conference, and so is our Devin Skillian. He'll bring us live reports tomorrow on Local 4 News starting at 5.
Major airlines slapped with a hefty fine by the FAA. What it's accused of doing that would make a lot of travelers very nervous.
A bad guy refuses to go quietly. Then a neighbor steps in. You'll see that dramatic takedown. Hey, Ben.
Jason, the brightest part of our day tomorrow is going to be right at the start. Clouds moving in pretty quickly. We'll tell you what that does to temperatures and our next shot of rain all coming up.
First, it is a crime hidden in plain sight.
Every industry is vulnerable to it.
It means that people are made to do things that they really would rather not do.
Sex trafficking, forced labor, where we live, work, and play. How experts say you can help stop it. Next in My Defenders Report.
Coming up tomorrow morning on Local 4 News today, hoping to get in shape this summer. Be careful so that you don't end up sidelined instead. Tomorrow at 6 a.m., Dr. McGeorge has an important warning about one of the most popular workouts for Wellness Wednesday. Also, weather and traffic as always on the 4s. Detroit mornings start here from 4:30 to 7 a.m. See you when you wake up.
It's a crime that can lurk in our neighborhoods, businesses, even parks. But how much do you know about human trafficking?
Federal investigators tell me criminal organizations are switching from selling drugs to people, selling them for sex, forced labor, and domestic servitude. Now, with this crime growing, teaching the community about it is becoming pivotal in stopping it. This year's raid at the Victory Inn Motel is the biggest human trafficking investigation for Homeland Security in this area. Months of surveillance, 200 agents and local police involved, leading to 6 arrests, 14 women rescued from sex trafficking. The case began because people reported what they saw.
Now, it was an extremely comprehensive, successful investigation. We rescued a lot of victims and we arrested a lot of bad guys. Now,
Rodney Riggs is a Homeland Security special agent who investigates human trafficking across Michigan.
My agency, my office has four special agents dedicated to human trafficking. We could probably use triple that.
Human trafficking happens everywhere. It happens in our high schools and junior highs. It happens in our parks. It happens on the internet. And it means that people are made to do things that they really would rather not do. And some pretty horrific things.
What they're doing is changing their commodity. That's
Pearls of Great Price Coalition held a human trafficking symposium in Canton. 400 people showed up to learn more about the problem and what to do about it.
We're about prevention through awareness, education, and action.
It's men, women, it's children, it's male, female, it's the elderly, it's the young.
Riggs speaks at events like this one. He says there are 2 things people can do to solve the problem with human trafficking: educate themselves about it and report it.
Some people think, well, what if I call and I wasn't right, or I misread a situation? There's no backlash on the caller. There's no harm in calling and just reporting it.
Human trafficking is often hidden in plain sight. Signs you can look for: someone inappropriately dressed appears submissive or fearful, not able to speak for themselves, or their answers sound rehearsed. No personal possessions, especially identity documents. Works excessively long or unusual hours. And it's not just sex trafficking, but forced labor.
Every industry is vulnerable to it.
Your eyes and ears helping investigators.
The public is becoming more aware of it, and that's lending itself to more successful prosecutions because people are looking at situations differently.
Very important. If you think someone is caught up in human trafficking and they're in immediate danger, call 911. Do not intervene yourself. You can also report it to the Polaris Project that alerts Homeland Security investigators to look into it. We put all that information on our Defenders page of clickondetroit.com.
Well, every time you do one of these, it just opens your eyes to this problem.
And it's, you know, people can spot it, whether you're a healthcare provider or whether you're the cable guy and you go into a house or a facility and you realize these people are not acting right. You know, you can make that call and make a change.
It's just not on their radar all the time. Now here's a look at what Coco McAvoy is working on for tomorrow night.
Imagine living in fear of being deported every single day.
You're praying that, you don't get stopped by a cop, that you don't get pulled over by immigration.
That fear is paralyzing one of the most vibrant communities in Detroit, as immigration authorities have shifted their focus.
Yeah, there's been changes. I know the community's been moving around.
We'll tell you how the fear in Southwest is impacting every aspect of life and how community leaders are banding together to make sure residents know their rights. That story tomorrow at 11.
All right, we're looking for some nice weather tomorrow.
I think we will see it. We will have a couple showers around tonight, but that's
been pretty clear.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So now we have to be worried about our garden again, because remember, we've been depending on Mother Nature.
Well, if you saw my lawn, I've got a lot of problems to worry about.
Let's focus on the positive.
Yes.
So much goodness in this forecast, and it's all really temperatures, but 4 Live radar shows that there are some showers still coming in from the west. This is mainly going to be overnight stuff, but out there, especially in our west zone, could be seeing a couple drops right now in parts of Washtenaw and Livingston County, and these will hang around for the overnight hours in some locations. Could be seeing those really as far as about 6 a.m. We'll check that out in your forecast in a minute, but you can see there's just a little bit more on the west side of the state. No thunderstorms, definitely nothing severe. And hey, we got another rainbow tonight. This was from Mr. Road Warrior up near Metamora. Caught the whole rainbow there from side to side, and that's on Storm Pins. By the way, if you haven't downloaded that app, it's in your favorite cell phone app store, and you can get it for free, and that's the best way to send us pictures and videos. Winds have calmed down. Temperatures right around 60 degrees here in our metro zone. Upper 40s, one of our cool spots in Ann Arbor, but generally a lot of 50s outside of the city. Right at 60 at Metro, and as we mentioned, the winds have calmed down just at 5 miles an hour right now out of the south-southwest. So the chances of sprinkles hanging around overnight, and there's going to be a little disturbance, sort of a cold front that's going to come through tomorrow morning about 5-6 a.m. So that may be enough to scare up another one of these sprinkles. Generally, I think the commute's going to be dry for most of us. Does look like the afternoon is going to be dry, and that's going to stretch through the day on Thursday, even Friday. Oh, by the way, this disturbance that's coming down from the northwest should stay north of us. The stuff that we're watching on Friday that's going to be coming in from the southwest with a warm front probably delayed a bit, so it's going to be overnight into early Saturday before we see that. Otherwise, temperatures tonight, 55, still have a possibility of that isolated shower. Otherwise, high temperatures tomorrow generally will be in the 60s. There are only a couple spots that may hit 70. City of Detroit's one of them, and also down here towards the Ohio state line will be the other. Otherwise, upper 60s in our south zone, mid to upper 60s in our west zone from Flint down to Manchester. And pretty much the same goes north of M59 as well. 65 in Sandusky to 68 down here in Macomb and Rochester Hills. 70s coming back, though, pretty quickly on Thursday with all that sunshine. And again, that chance of thunderstorms on Friday is looking later and later. Saturday, we'll call it unsettled. None of those 2 days, neither of those 2 days are going to be washouts. But Sunday does look like the better chance of rain if you're making plans already, even though it is a shortened work week.
Yeah, got some open houses this weekend. Everybody getting those in.
And Tigers back in town on the weekend.
That's right.
Your forecast is working great with our social lives. Thank you very much, Ben.
It's your civic duty, but no one actually enjoys jury duty, do they? Some people probably do.
They do, actually, sometimes.
You know, get a good case. What could soon change to make it a little easier to handle?
We'll talk about that. Plus, always on duty, how an Air Force veteran helped a police officer make a tough arrest. Next.
These